There we go. Can you see? Cool. It's actually been a while, so I'm a little kind of rusty. I think I was in the... Oh, I remember exactly where I was. The frigging 4th dungeon that was hidden in a weird spot. You'll see what I mean. I'm actually playing the second quest. Yeah, the one thing I need to get used to, damn it. I remember skipping many dungeons during first quest, never finished it because there was no key lock system for dungeons at that time. There kind of was. I know the first 3 you can pretty much do in whatever order you want, but you have to do like no choice. You have, well, some dungeons I'm pretty sure you can stumble upon early, but you just won't be able to get very far. So even though levels 5, 6, 7, no, I don't think 7, 5, 6, and 8 you can find early. Without the step ladder from level 4, you can't beat them. There we go. Yeah, trying to get used to the, oh crap, I've been cursed. Hang on, let me see if it goes away. Yeah, it goes away. It's not like the red-blue ones. Oh, he actually hit me. Come on. Well, it's a good thing these bubbles don't hurt you. Got you, and you're done. Oh, looks like I already got the thing for this. Okay. It probably looks a little choppy on your end, but this is the best I can do it with low latency. Alright, I remember this. These are the red ones that go into the blue ones. So, only one place left. Shit. I remember what to do for this. This is... yeah, Dig Dogger. Shit. Was he always that fast? Damn. Hang on, let me wait for him to get away from the door. There we go. And they do a heart of damage. What the hell? They don't... oh. Yeah, that's a problem. They don't stun. And they're so fast that they can corner you like that. Yeah, now I'm starting to remember one of the lamer parts of this game. The Landmullas had a similar problem too, where they were really fast and they didn't stop. I think, yeah, and they're faster than me. And so when you have a random moving fast enemy that doesn't stop even when you hit it, and you have 3 of them moving around, well, you can end up with no bombs or anything. Nope, I'm out of bombs. Bombs would definitely help. Actually, I should use my boomerang. Yes, boomerang is key. Doing this, yeah, the sword is too weak. I mean, not too weak. The sword is too ineffective. And it mainly has to do with the fact that unlike other Zelda games, the sword is subtiles length, and Link doesn't swing it. He can only hit things that are directly in front of him. Normally this isn't a problem because most things in this game move at about 1/3 of Link's speed, but when you have a Dig Dogger split into 3 like that and he's moving so fast, I think he might actually be moving the same speed as I am. Oh yeah, another difference. Dig Dogger can actually move in 8 directions. I cannot do that. I can only move 4. There's no diagonal movement in this game. That's another thing that actually makes him really dangerous in a way that most people probably won't pick up on. Do that. Now, boomerang. Hold still. Hold still. You hold still. Oh my god, how many hits do you take? Oh, got one. Yes! Yes! Fuck! I could have had the sword beam if I kept that. Whoops, I got hit again. Although thankfully I can throw the... Whoops, couldn't get in the door. The boomerang diagonally. Now he's inside the statue. Yes, I got both of them. Both these freaking turrets. No! Yeah. It's dangerous in the corner if I can't keep both of them pinned. Also, the fact that those little balls move fairly quickly. They're more... I think those Dig Doggers, yeah, they're moving faster or about the same speed as those bullets. Which, if I remember correctly, those bullets actually do move faster than Link. So if I was to run in the same direction as that bullet, like see how they're moving right? If I was to run right, they would eventually catch up and hit me. So if the Dig Doggers were actually moving that fast, which I think you can actually test, then yeah, that would be crazy. Hey Daniel. Okay, I got rid of one of them. Oh yeah, the fact that I don't have the magical shield is also what makes this a real bitch. Gotcha. What? I stunned you. Whoops. Just finishing off an article. We'll be back soon. Did you finish NG? Oh, Ninja Gaiden. No, I didn't. Because I was experiencing a little burnout, and yeah, tough game. It does get tough. It does get tough in the end, But you know the reasons why that is. Just having to do those 3 levels every time, and going to that second to last boss with only a fraction of my health. The problem is that unlike Mario, where even if I have to redo all 4 levels to World 8 again, that game is fair, so it doesn't kill my enthusiasm as much as Ninja Gaiden does, where I know that game is kind of bullshitting me. Like, that difference alone changes the experience. Damn it. Might as well throw this one. Kill me! Faster! Anyways, gotta finish this thing, be back a bit later. We can talk about that later, the success thing. The more you play, the more you suck until your learning registers in your long-term memory. I was actually just editing the last... Oh wait, he's not here. Huh, I guess I might as well just say this anyway. Just so that I have it on video. I was editing a video with Richard where success doesn't work if the game's bad. And yeah, those last few levels in Ninja Gaiden, they get pretty... The thing is, like, I can actually make it through those 3 levels consistently, but I just enter a state of, man, I just don't care anymore. Because I'm just not having fun. And I kind of stop trying. I get into a really give up quick attitude if things don't... If I make too many mistakes early on. Because one of the problems in that was that I needed to reach the last boss without taking too many hits. Because I needed to game it in a way where I could get to the last boss with enough health. Because the last I actually do like the last boss, but the main thing was the timer. That was another issue too. Oh shit. Kind of like right now, where it's like, you know what, just kill me and I want to do over. Like, I kind of get into that mental space with Ninja Gaiden. I don't really feel it's a success thing. Experience it in real times more than in games. Yeah. Well, I can't say I actually did experience that with Calc 2, where it was, well, I didn't have a great teacher because it was online, but it was frustrating at first, but then I got it. And Trig was like that too, and I think that, whoops, I left the room. Oh, calculus too, because calculus is broken up into different semesters. I think it goes all the way up to calculus 7, because there's just that much to calculus. And then they just have a whole class just for differential equations. What am I doing? Alright, I gotta do this again. Shit. Yeah. And their movement is so erratic too. Just waiting for that's the thing, is like I feel like I just need to start over again, which is why like I don't care if I lose right now. Yeah. So start over. Tell me the enemy's name again. It's Dig Dogger. Well, that would have been... Yeah. Nah, I'm too low. That's way too much damage for... I didn't even think I hit him once, so... Throwing in the towel there. Okay... Actually, there's a cheat, but I don't know. Maybe you know it already. I don't. What kind of cheat is it? Is like a Game Genie cheat? No, a glitch or something. I don't know about it. I mean, if I had bombs, I could plant a bomb, because there's a little period right after you use the recorder where they kind of just hold still and then they start moving all over the place, and that's pretty much the best shot to lay a bomb. Actually, just bombs in general would help with this encounter a lot. How did that miss? Like, holy crap, I couldn't get away from that. I think you did it earlier. Anyway, on the wiki they said that killing one is enough if you leave the room and re-enter, but I think you did that earlier. Alright. Yeah, I know about that. I just didn't know it'd work with this. I thought you had to kill all of them. I am tempted to do that because I'm working with the... Wait, no, I think I did do that at one point. Yeah, I had a run where... Damn it. Oh, nope, they move about the same speed as me. Oh, shit. There's 3 of them. I'm screwed. Yep. Fuck. I think maybe if I kill 2 of them and leave the room, that might work. Or it might reset the fight, which would suck. Let's see. Hopefully I can kill this guy before Daniel comes back. That would be nice, so he wouldn't have to see me fail this 50 times. Yeah, he's too close to the turret. It's not enough time to really get away. I wish one of them would give me a fairy like the first time. Fuck! I walked into that. Gotcha! Oh, I missed. That's so shitty. How did I missed something that was directly in front of me? But that's because this sword is so freaking short. Got one. Whoops. Gotcha, bitch. Nope, you stay away. Ah, oh, damn it. That's the thing, they also take really long to die. Like, I have to hit them, Christ, 6 times? I haven't actually been counting. What? How do you... Oh, that's why. Because he moved just diagonal. So, yeah, they can snake me. Hmm. I don't know. Alright. Got me cornered there. I got lucky there that he just happened to move out of the way for me. And the boomerang didn't come back fast enough. I need them in a good spot. Like there. That's perfect. Well, no, it's too close to the... Well, shit. Register Daniel on my 2DS. That's cool. I should give him my code right now. Yeah. That way you can play Steel Diver Sub Wars together. I know Greg is, Oh, why'd I do that? Let's try that again. Come on! What was that nonsense? He was like stuck inside me. Sometimes when I get lucky, those turrets won't fire for a while. It's another thing that makes it so odd is that they don't run on a consistent timer. Those turrets are really random with their timing. The boomerang does not destroy the fireballs? No, it does not. If I had the magical shield, this actually would be a lot easier, but I don't have it. Just kill me now. That's way too many hits for not landing a single one. It just feels like a lot of like a battle of attrition, which is why God, sometimes that boomerang feels unreliable. Yes! Hell yeah. Oh, it's not enough for the sword beam. I got him in fuck! Got him. Yeah! This should be the one. Alright, I gotta stop tanking hits, because that's not effective in this game. Oh, or maybe it is. Huh, I win. Do you know where the mag shield is in the second quest? I think it's in a shop like it was in the first quest, but maybe they jacked up the price, I don't remember. Wait, I don't have a bow. That's right, I haven't even gotten the bow yet, so I can't use, Oh, boomerang doesn't work on the Pole's voice. Oh, Daniel, you just missed me beating Dig Dogger. It took a Long time, but I finally got him. It was just...
What's the counterpoint in this room?
Oh, you have these hopping bunnies. They're Pole's voices, I think. But the real tricky part is actually... Well, hang on, those two are stuck inside. Okay. It's actually going to be the dark nuts, because you can only hit them from the sides. Actually, wait a minute. I gotta see something real quick. Pole's voice... Do those Pole's voice?
So you're trying to kill those enemies by saying the word or whatever it is?
No. I was trying to remember if Pole voice jumps, so yeah, they actually do move differently. And you can kind of see them jump vertically, where they move up and then down a little bit. So, they both differ in movement, and they both differ in what they're weak to. The only thing that works on a Pole's voice are arrows, and the only thing that works on a Dark Nut is hitting them in the back or the side and bombs. And that's about it.
Oh, gee, that's quite tricky.
Yeah.
That enemy, the Pulse Royce?
Yeah.
Is that the one that in the original NES game, in the Famicom game, if you use the Famicom microphone and say something loud into the speaker, it'll kill all the enemies instantly?
Oh, not all the enemies, just the Pole's voices.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Are you able to attack from the doorway there?
Nope. You cannot do that. What? You little cheater! He just hit me in the door! They never do that. Only Wizrobes do that, because Wizrobes are pieces of dog poop in this game.
This is the second quest, right?
Yeah, so this is level 4. Oh yeah, something you said on our last game video thing on Ninja Gaiden was that they go back to... Piece of shit hit me in the door again. Let me pause. Hang on. Okay, I paused. Was that they go back to making Zelda like the first one? But they kind of already have in a way with, you know, Link Between Worlds. What they should not go back to is making it where it's really cryptic like this. Where you burn bushes and blow up rocks to find secrets. And the bushes all look the same and the trees all look the same. There's nothing to really distinguish where the secrets are. Yeah.
Yeah, it all really depends, I guess, on what people mean when they say that the new Zelda game should be like the original game. I think, I mean, it's hard to answer that question without looking at an article in particular. I know that there was a particular article that was popular a few years ago that presented this argument. I didn't read it all, but I think, if I remember correctly, that the idea was that they wanted that the freedom of being able to figure out what your... Oh gosh, that was close. If you leave that room, will they all respawn?
Yep. So that's a bad idea.
God. Yeah, so I guess ultimately it depends on what they mean. But yeah, you're right. A Link Between Worlds kind of goes back to that style in the sense of the original game, in the sense of giving the player a bit more freedom in the order, well, at least in terms of the order in which they tackle the dungeons. And I believe in the original game you can, like, there's a bit of leeway there as well. But yeah, what's really interesting about that is that, you know, that freedom is very well controlled. Like, I think you can only go to 3 dungeons in a
Yes.
particular, maybe like a big chunk, maybe about 3/5 of the map, but there's still a lot of the map that you can't really cover. And
Yeah.
those 3 areas are in distinct points, are in like quite separate locations on the map. Like I think one's like in the top right, in the top left corner, one's in the top middle, and one's in the lake, kind of in the bottom middle part of the map. So the positions, there's not that large an area to actually explore on your own, and the way that the dungeons are positioned, it kind of like presents options to the player. Like it's not too difficult to infer that if I keep on going this way, then I'll probably get to this dungeon. So it there's freedom there, but it's presented with a lot of clarity, which I think stems from the kind of a lot of the steps that Nintendo have taken over the past 10 15 years in terms of making the like just perfecting their teaching designing games, to the fact that it's really invisible and effective. Like in a game like Mario Galaxy 2, like that has really clever teaching design, but but you never feel like it feels like you're just automatically jumping into these quite tricky challenges. But the game is very clear, and it teaches the player in a very explicit manner. So
Yeah.
I think that Link Between Worlds gets that balance of, well, it strikes a different balance on between giving player freedom, but also including the newer, more sophisticated forms of tutorial and teaching. But yeah, but that's quite a complex argument, I guess. But so yeah, so I'd be quite interested to hear what those people think of Link Between Worlds. I think the Zelda community liked it overall, which I guess is good for those people. So yeah.
I still need to play it. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Link Between Worlds, they definitely push the more do things in any order you want kind of angle, but that's actually quite different from the first game because, as you pointed out, only the order in which you do dungeons, even in the first game, is still very controlled, and is controlled by what items you have. I was actually explaining to Elle earlier that dungeons, basically, there are there are 8 dungeons for Zelda, about 5 of them. No. Level 4 is what you get the step ladder, which you can't reach level 4 without the raft from level 3. And levels 5, 6, 7, and 8 all need the step ladder. You can reach 3 of them. 5, 6, and 8 you can reach them, but you won't be able to complete them without the step ladder. So you can actually end up wasting time going into a dungeon, getting halfway through it, and then having an item that you don't have. Having an item you don't have? What the hell am I saying? Needing an item that you don't have. And level 7 you can't even get to without an item from level 5, so that's... yeah. The point is, contrary to what some people have been saying, the first Zelda was not open, it was not non-linear, it was actually very much controlled. And in fact, Link Between Worlds is the first Zelda game that is truly non-linear, as in you actually can do any dungeon, any order, no strings attached. Because when you think about it, Link to the Past is the same way. There's plenty of dungeons you can do out of order. You can do level 4 well before you ever do the first dungeon. In fact, you could save that first dungeon for last if you wanted to. Same thing with Ocarina of Time. You can
Yeah,
break the
that's a really
dungeon
good
order.
point.
You can break the dungeon order in that game too. So Zelda games. Where was I going with that? I wasn't going anywhere with it. That's where I needed to stop because I have that bad habit. I
That's
gotta
a really
pause
good
because of that beeping.
observation, I think. Um, yeah, I played the original game once and then and then I forgot about it very quickly. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, the guidance thing
so
too. That's another thing. This game actually does help you. So whoever came up with that bullcrap that. Oh yeah, it was Egoraptor. So he said that it's not a game that like helps you or whatever. That's completely wrong. It does. Oh yeah, and that we were covering an article. No, I was reviewing a video that I recorded like 6 months ago when I beat Demon Souls, and Richard was with me, and we were reading an article called "What Zelda Wii U HD," I think that was called, could learn from Dark Souls, and it was talking about hints. And I think at some point it mentioned that I should go back to the first Zelda, and that's when we were like, well, stop right there, because that's not true of the first game. Because one, it was in the manual. They did help you in the manual. In fact, if you look at the manual, they literally show you how to get to the second dungeon. And the game came packaged with the map. And not only that, but you have NPCs in the game that tell you where to go. The problem was that they just kind of sucked at it. Even the Zelda wiki has no idea what the hell Eastmost Peninsula is supposed to mean, because there is no peninsula in the game. So, and the other problem was that you could miss them. You could go through a whole dungeon, miss the NPC that gives you a vital clue. So if you miss the NPC that says there are secrets where fairies don't live, well, you're pretty fucked in finding out where the seventh dungeon is. If you miss the NPC that says actually that wasn't even a good clue to begin with. Something about Spectacle Rock is where death lies. Like that's not a very good clue, because Spectacle Rock looks like any other rock in the game. Or there's a secret at the dead end where the tree lies, which is supposed to be a clue to level 8. That one actually had me confused, but that might have been my own fault because I accidentally found it long before I'd ever come across it. And yeah, the point is that the game did help you. It was just more, you had to go more out of your way, or it was easier to miss them. And if you needed help, it was actually more obnoxious to get it. Man.
yeah,
How many
it
hits
seems
do you
that
take?
when tutorial is right there, then people really well, then some people really despise it. But then when you make it more obscure, then people get really annoyed that it's not there, and they think it's stupid.
I missed the second half of what you actually. I think I need you to repeat the whole thing again because you were talking about tutorials, and that's
Yeah.
what my brain latched onto. Because we're leading into another
Yeah,
topic
so I think if you make the tutorials very explicit and make it so that so the players can see where it is very clearly, then some players tend to really despise that. But if you do the opposite, like in Zelda 1, then players don't get that information, and then they complain because they can't do the game and they think the game's stupid. So, yeah. I think a lot of these arguments with tutorials in games are very similar to my experiences teaching, which is something I talked about the other day. And I think that people thinking in these ways probably isn't going to change anytime soon.
Yeah,
because we feel very, I'm not sure why, but um, we feel very passionate about learning. It's quite a sensitive subject. At work, I'm a trainer and assessor um, for LLN, which is language literacy and numeracy. So we get two kinds of clients. We get English as a second language clients, and we get adults whose language literacy or numeracy, like the reading, writing, and maths, basically, isn't very good. Maybe they left school early. Maybe they, could be a number of reasons. And so when I'm at work, like, when you talk about how school was, um, what they do at home, to learn, how they remember things, stuff like that, it's really touchy. Um, and that's for students who maybe have had more disadvantage than others, and also for those that have had relatively little disadvantage in their lives. And so when you talk about this stuff with anyone, I think it's quite a I guess learning is very close to who we are as people.
Mm-hmm.
It plays such a fundamental role in our lives. And so when it comes to topics of how critiquing or discussing learning, then people have very strong opinions.
Yeah. Hang on.
And so, so whichever way that you go, whether it's, you make sure that the player can very clearly see the tutorial, or you force it on them, that, or you make it less obvious, players are going to react negatively in some way. But I don't know. I think that those people who complain about tutorial elements in more modern Nintendo games are probably like a vocal minority, and I think it's better that people are like, I'd rather have more players get the game and understand how it works than worrying about like a small group of people who hate the fact that there's tutorials in your game.
Yeah. I think it is a little bit of a pride thing, I think. And I think that's just something that, well, for one, I think it's kind of immature and really pathetic, especially for grown-ass adults to be having that. I'm sorry, I just have to be real, but that's really what I think, and I wouldn't really... to me, doing the whole make your tutorial as invisible as to not, like, insult someone, like, just saying that sounds dumb. Like, why would you get insulted just because a game tells you some of its instructions? Now, if it's so obvious and so frequent to the point where it's absurd, like, maybe that I can understand, but I've never seen anyone ever apply that to a legit case. And the thing is, there are games with bad tutorials. Like, I think Sins of a Solar Empire doesn't really have a good one. I mean, I get that it's a 4X strategy game, but come on, it shouldn't be... If you're gonna have tutorials in the game and I still don't know how to play your game, like, what does that say? Well, that's, to me, that just says it's not very good. I mean, at some point I'm gonna have to be left on my own and figuring things out, but I could just barely remember how to use the freaking interface. And then the part that there's no single player campaign. To me, to throw that criticism to Zelda, to me, just seems odd. Yeah, the game's gonna cover some things that were in other games, so it might seem like you're going over things you already know, but it's like that with every game. Like, level 1 of every game is always going to be scaffolding up to what you're going to do in later levels. Like, when you really think about it, the first level in Mario, Like, it doesn't explicitly say anything, but it is still a tutorial. I mean, nobody can shut up about it. So, I mean, no one's flipping their lid at something like that. So, but not everything can be done. Not, hang on, let me pause the game. You can't expect every game to do tutorials without text. If your game's more complicated, like say Assassin's Creed, you're going to need some text at some point. Like trying to choreograph a very strict scenario so that you have to force the player to push this certain button at this certain situation so they can learn something, like that's not really. You have to really railroad a player in order to get them to like fall into whatever it is you're trying to teach them. I know there are some good set pieces where they do that, like that one key in Braid where you learn about how the green things work, and of course Mega Man. That's another one. But anytime I think of those examples, it's like they all have the same things in common. One, they involve things that you can see right in front of you and observe right in front of you. But if you're going to talk about something like lock on, like really, that's just something you just need to straight up tell them.
Yeah.
It's not something you can
Yeah, that's right.
observe happen in front of you. Like, oh, when I jump on this thing, it falls down or it goes left and right or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's naive to expect tutorials to never use text. Like, I think it's naive to expect that. Of course, I do think there's a limit to how much you can make players read because you can tire them out.
Yeah.
Basically, don't
Yeah,
info
it's
dump.
amazing.
Oh,
Go
I'm
on.
good. Okay, I was going to use one example. I remember the beginning of Ys, Ulthen Fulgano. I kind of had an info dump where it was just telling me like all its combat mechanics on my very first encounter with any enemies, and I literally mean like page like 1 of 4 of push A and B while you're jumping up, push A and B at the top of your jump, push A and B while you're falling down from your jump. Just like 3 different things. I'm like, Jesus. I mean, it didn't really have a structured way of teaching you those kind of things. It's just kind of, one of those. You know how when you play a demo, sometimes it just puts a picture of the controller and what all the buttons do.
Oh yeah.
It felt like kind of that,
Yeah.
which isn't really that
Yeah.
great.
It's pretty lazy.
Basically, the game did that on me, and like, yeah, I could overcome it because it was only so complex a game, but I still would rather it not do it. I don't consider that a shining example of tutorials. Even Demon Souls did that better because it had it more paced out where you read a note of the ground, okay, this button does this, okay. And sometimes they have an enemy conveniently placed right after you learn, okay, R1 to attack, okay, I'm going to hit that guy right there, something like that. Really simple. A lot of games do it. Like, even button prompt tutorials. Like, even Starseed Pilgrim still does that. Like, it's going to tell you arrow keys to move, down to dig, was it spacebar? I think it was spacebar to plant the seed. And yeah, even games
Yeah.
trying. That game is actually Starseed Pilgrim though. That one was attempting to do the whole text-less tutorial thing, but it didn't quite succeed at it because I read a lot of the comments on the Steam store page, that were pretty mixed. And part of it did have to do with them finding the game obtuse. I didn't think it was that obtuse, but I could understand where they were coming from. And that's because the order in which you show the player, when you're doing a textless tutorial, or interactive tutorial, whatever you want to call it, the order that you show things matters a lot, which is why a lot of people can go through that game, play that first section over and over and not realize that, oh, this is actually an overworld that you have to explore to find other pilgrims and then do their challenges and do the 3 key things.
Yeah, I think when you're, so if I'm planning a lesson or something, I'll think of, what is the smallest, like, what is it that I'm to teach, and then what is the smallest unit of that, and then can I make it any more smaller?
Hmm.
And then I think, okay, how can I um, start from that smallest point and build up? And so each step should provide them with the skills and everything that they need to do the next step. And yeah, you see the same kind of thing in games. But I remember on my last teaching placement when the mentor teacher had basically established a class where you really couldn't interface with the students for very long. You got 30 students, which is which is a ridiculous number, but you've got 30 students, and you know you you can't talk to them for any more than a minute at a time. And sometimes when you're trying to explain very clear details, which must be said, like, I've been teaching for a few years, and you just can't minimize text or teacher talking time to such a degree that, like, well, in this case, I couldn't minimize my talking any more than, I had to talk for 1 or 2 minutes. And yeah, and I couldn't do it because the students were used to just talking when the teacher was talking and not listening at all. And the problem is that every time that the teacher talked, the students would talk and the teacher would keep on going. And so the students got used to just talking when the teacher was talking, which meant that, and naturally with 30 people in a classroom, someone's going to talk at some point. That's very normal.
Hmm.
But, like he wouldn't stop and go, okay, guys, look, we really need to make sure we get this. He'd just keep on going. And
No.
so it was really hard to then go into that class and teach them some really explicit things or draw their attention to some form of language in a marker sentence or something like that. Um, so yeah, so you do at points you do have to talk or you do have to put text in your game to make things very explicit. And text can solve everything, but as you say, you can't put too much text. I mean, you, if you wanted them to have a flawless tutorial in the sense that all the information was conveyed, then put in text. But then I think you mix in text with interactivity and participation to check understanding, what we call like concept checking questions. So, for example, you might say, okay, when this enemy comes in, you need to push A before it attacks, which is when it'll bob its head up and down. And then it will give you a chance to do that. So there's some back and forth there, and you can mix the two, like intersplice on the two to draw out the amount of time that you can actually put text or teacher talking time in your lesson, in your lesson or game. um, so
Right.
yeah, it's all a matter of balance.
Hmm.
And when I was talking about the stuff that Nintendo do in terms of like very subtle teaching, like that
Right.
is quite like it's just as effective as it's just as effective as text, really.
Hmm.
But it's so subtle that you wouldn't even know what's going on. Like you don't know that. You don't consciously know as you're playing that, oh, this thing here is teaching me this very, very explicitly. Um, and so there's an expert level of teaching in a lot of the newer Nintendo games. Um,
Yeah.
but sometimes they can't do that, and so they got to put in text, and that's
Right.
fine. And with a game
Yeah.
like Zelda, which has a lot of different systems, like there's
Hmm.
just going to have to be text. There's no way around it. Like with Mario, it's fairly easy, right? Like at the
Right.
start of Mario Galaxy, like it kind of goes from 1D to 2D to 3D, and then they have very like the shapes and the colors of the world guide the player very, very clearly. And even if they still don't get it, there's a couple of toads that are scattered around that'll provide some help. Um, but with Zelda, I think it's there's a lot of systems there,
Yeah.
and so it does at some point have to talk to the player directly.
Hmm. Um, Somewhere along that, you did remind me of another video that got me thinking about the whole. Okay, there's several things that we're covering, and I'm trying to keep track of them all. So one is kind of the attitude against tutorials, specifically text tutorials, because I don't think anybody complains about how Mega Man or Mario teach you uh,
Mm.
non-verbally. Let's put it. Because even if it's like characters speaking to you through like an intercom or something, I think people still would get annoyed at that. And the video I was about to mention was, I think, one of the Mark Brown videos. Because technically those aren't text, but it's still a character talking to you and telling you something. And for whatever reason, people
Mm.
seem to have really latched on to the idea, especially when talking about, the power of games as a unique interactive medium, or we need to play to the strengths of video games, or something weird like that. It's very bizarre, but that's one of the things I know. So one is the attitude around it, against what we're calling nonverbal tutorials, which I don't think is something you need to appease, because when people get mad at that, that's really an ego thing most of the time. It's not, say, like my issues with, say the original Zelda, where uh, okay, actually, the first quest isn't that bad. Never mind. Not the original Zelda. I'm just gonna throw Sins of the Solar Empire in the bus, where I go through all the tutorials, I pay attention as close as I can, and I still feel troubled. Um, like, I don't think that's the kind of thing people are talking about. Um, so I think there's a difference between that. One where people just complain because a tutorial's in it. How dare they? That insults me. I'm not a baby. Let me do things on my own. Like that kind of really childish attitude. That's one thing I wanted to point out. The other thing that we're coming across is that to think you can do a tutorial in a game, or to teach every player every game without ever using text ever, is just foolish. At some point, you're going to have to do it, uh, because it'll be more trouble with what it's worth trying to teach something that may take 5 minutes with what you could have conveyed in text in 2 seconds. Because that's the strength of text. Like, that's why we have language in the first place, and why we don't speak in pictures and sign language. Um, yeah. Okay, that's two major points. I feel like there was a third one, but I can't remember. Okay. I feel good. I feel good now that I paused the game and got my thoughts out there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a bit of aside from Zelda, another example of this is the Mario and Luigi games. And I've written quite a long draft article on Dream Team Brothers, and yeah, like I read a few reviews, and yeah, they just complain about the tutorials take so long. There's all this talking, blah blah blah. But then, like, I just found it really strange because I didn't even notice that. Like, really? They were talking a lot? I hadn't noticed. Um, so, yeah. And then when you watch videos of people playing on the game online, like, they really suck and they can't respond to tells.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe I missed that guy. Oh, great. Now I need to get the food bubble again.
CL, there's actually another game that does that same mechanic, and it's like the parallel worlds thing. And I can't remember what it's called, but it was for the GBA Chronos Twins, maybe, I think.
Yes, got one.
Um, yeah, it used to be for the GBA, and then they did a DS version. I think it was a pretty small budget game, but yeah, Fractured Soul is quite good, I think, except it gets really hard later. And it's made in Australia too.
Woo! Give it up for Australian game developers. All three of them. I'm joking.
Actually,
I
speaking,
I have no idea how many Australian developers there are.
yeah, yep, that's fine. Yeah, we probably don't know either. There's not too many because the government doesn't care about funding arts. Actually, I was going to say, so the other day I got my hand on some American money, some $100 bills, and man, I gotta say, your money is like, I don't know, like so our money, right? Like our notes has a like is a plastic, or at least has a thin plastic coating, so that you can't rip it easily. And also the little I don't know what it is, like the little metallic looking strip that you can use on the check if a note is fake. That's like, so on the US dollar, it's like a strip, and quite a thick strip actually, thicker than the Chinese notes. But in Australia, we have like, in the bottom right corner, we have like a little emblem, like I don't know, like a flower or a circle that looks like a compass or something, and it's partly translucent. And if it's a fake note, then you just look at that translucent part. But it fits in well with the imagery on the existing on the note, because it's nice and fancy. It's not like this metallic looking strip. But the US note is of better paper quality than the Chinese notes, which is good because those notes rip really easily. But it's smaller than the Chinese note and about the same size as the Australian notes. So yeah, so I just found that really interesting. I just saw some notes last night, and your notes are really I don't know what the style is, but I don't know. I feel like just by looking at the Australian notes and the American notes, you see a real, I don't know, like I feel that your notes are very American and our notes are very Australian. Like it just, our notes characterize, like, I guess your notes seem to be based on figures like the founding fathers, and
Right.
and it has a very kind of, I don't know, like a Washington feel to it. Whereas our notes are more like, we have historical figures, and they're more contemporary, I guess. I think the notes were illustrated by like maybe 30, 40 years ago, like in their current version. So it has a more of a contemporary feel to it, I guess. Yeah, anyway, just some interesting musings on money. I just thought I'd share.
So something very kind of sucky happened. I just got hit by a red, I think it was a bubble on the way out, and now I can't use my sword. And I accidentally left the room without hitting a blue bubble because I didn't realize that happened. So, shit, I have the blue candle, not the red one. So, I need to find a blue bubble so I can return my ability to hit things. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. We can't use the fire, like just use the candle and burn some of the enemies and get through, and then see if there's one up ahead.
It's only once per room, and I just used it to light this room up.
Ah.
Hang on. Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Like that? Okay. Well, they didn't die. Oh, I got an idea. Shit, you stupid... Hang on. Let me try this again. So close. No, Don't you dare. Go the other way. Thank you. Keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna sneak past him. There we go. Ah. Oh, look at this! This is so Link to the Past. Like, right out of the Ice Palace. It even makes the little jingle.
What did you think of the dungeons in A Link Between Worlds?
Oh, I haven't played it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck, how am I supposed to... Okay, so we're not going that way.
You can't just use your shield to, like, rebound off of them? Or, I mean, you can't rebound,
No.
but, like, just deflect their attacks?
I don't have the magical shield. It's not like Link's Awakening where the shield was its own button. Well, I can't do shit in that. Oh no, I can! I have the boomerang kills keys. Lucky me. Wait. Oh, I don't have the step ladder, and then you can't boomerang keys in this game.
Wait, so how do you... Oh, maybe if you leave and re-enter?
I think it'll just spawn in the same spot. Yep, same spot. I can't get across. By the way, the whole red bubble, blue bubble thing, that's something they only do in the second quest. Normal bubbles only temporarily curse you. Red bubbles do it permanent, and blue bubbles, oddly enough, are friendly and uncurse you. Okay, I gotta be careful because those stinky poles voices. I still can't get over how bizarre of a name that is for an enemy. It's not Pole, it's Pole's voice. It's still weird to think about. Like his voice turned into a sentient being.
The thing that we were talking about before, about how you with Ninja Gaiden, how you tried to get through on the boss after like your second attempt, and from then on you couldn't get through it. I think it's kind of similar to what do you call it? Where if you play a level several times and you get stuck, and you know, like once you get stuck, if you keep on trying, like you just get worse and worse. But then if you wait, like say wait a day and then you come back to the game and try again, then you'll just beat it on your first shots.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that has to do with the way that certain information is stored into memory. That's kind of a point of interest that I've had recently. But yeah, so I guess if you maybe one technique to counter that perhaps is you know, give a boss a few goes, then okay, can't beat it, just pause on the game, you know, go and do something for half an hour and then come back to it. I'm not sure if half an hour is a long enough time to you know, to fix the issue or to fix that information blockage, but yeah, might be worth a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why I might trying Ninja Gaiden again later will also work is because now that I've learned that boss's pattern, I can probably get him on the first try with full health, because on the subsequent attempts I was never at full health. So that was the one disadvantage I was working with each attempt afterwards. Yes. This is perfect for me to sneak back. I can't see. No, you suck. Oh, you don't suck. Oh, shoot. Where do I go?
Huh.
I can't kill anything. It goes in a circle. Is there a fake wall? So this is another thing that was introduced, is fake walls. And I'm gonna try that left wall there. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck! That didn't work. That would have been cool if that had worked, because that would have been a clever use of spike traps. Would have worked for that door on the right there. Oh wait, that room above. I could try there. Go past me. Yes. Okay, so right here, it's not working. Oh no. I'm trapped. No, I'm not. Ooh. Okay, so there's the one on the left there.
So those those invisible doors, what you just walk through?
Yeah. They're kind of odd because you kind of have to push into them for a while before they let you through. And they're also something that they just added for the second quest, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. I kind of got lucky with finding it out the first time, because the one other fake wall in the game that is in the original is the top right secret. Yeah. And that's why I was in the right headspace to think, what if it was a fake wall? Because the thing is, the room was laid out in such a way that that it looked like you would just bomb the bottom hole, because it looked like a hallway that just led into, you know, a dead end. But, you know, I was missing the dungeon item. I had checked every other room, so I was thinking maybe bomb it. But then when I remembered that one secret, I think, wait a minute, is it doing that again? And that's how I found out it was a secret wall. And now they're doing secret walls in dungeons.
Oh, yep.
This sucks. I can't do anything. And I have to keep listening to that beeping. That high-pitched beeping.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
I can't decide which is worse, Zelda or Metroid, when it comes to low health beeping.
Yeah, I think Metroid's probably worse in my opinion.
Yeah, because I think it is actually a little faster. This one's a bit slower. See you to the 21st when the meetings are done earlier. Okay. Shoot. Maybe, yeah, I'm just gonna kill myself. I got stuck. It's really lame that that happened, but yeah, what are you gonna do? At least they don't come back. So if I keep going through, you know, I can make my way through this. Actually, since we're speaking of fake walls, damn it. Nope. Yeah, I took those 2 hits willingly. Oh, you pieces of... Well, I already got the compass, so I don't need to kill him again. Now, the guys in this room stay... Oh, here we go, key. Wait. Holy shit, is, what's his name? I forgot that dragon's name. It's like Aquamentus, there we go. Okay, now that I hit the blue thing, I can go, beat him up. Whoa! Fired off timer there. Yep, there he goes again. We're firing off timer. Alright, let's see. Come on. Don't hide behind the wall. Come out here. Yes, that's right. Got him.
Good. Hey, do you play with a controller or do you play on the keyboard?
Controller.
So, NES one or like like with a adapter or something?
PS3 controller. I
Ah,
plugged in
okay.
my PS3 controller so I could play games because I don't have a 360 controller. It was a lot of hassle trying to get this to work. Oh yeah, Pole's voices do not stun like other enemies. That's another thing that makes them fairly dangerous.
Oh.
So you notice how that Gibdo got knocked back when I hit him? Pole's voices do not do that, ever. No matter what direction.
Which can kind of make them. So you kind of have to attack them from the side.
Yeah. And I think another one of the things that makes them tricky is the fact that their sprite, unlike other enemies, actually the Gibdo there too, it doesn't change. They don't have a unique sprite for what direction they're facing, unlike say Octoroks. So that's another thing that can make anticipating them changing direction a bit dangerous, especially when I only have like 3/4 of a tile to work with distance if I'm trying to kite them. Is there a fake wall? Nope, it's not there. If there are any. Yes! Oh. I bet you'd like to have more bombs. Yes! Thank you, old bastard. Is this a fake wall? No double secret. Not there. Oh! Haha! Haha! Ah, it's stuck here. Can I go back out? Okay, I can. Well, I want to kill them all anyways, just so I can get everything in that room. Because I don't think I've been to that room before. Let me check my map. That's odd. It's not actually showing that secret room to the right there, but... No, it's not that odd actually, but I can make sense. I can still make sense of the map.
I'm realizing that in Steel Diver, it takes a long time to go up in levels. So I'm at level 23, I think, and I've played the multiplayer for about, I guess, 10 hours, which is quite a. I haven't played a game that much for like ages. Yeah, I played it in the last week or so. So yeah, it's good to be on holidays. But yeah, so in order to level up, you need to get experience, and you get experience by for every shot that you successfully land on an enemy. Although I think actually you can also attack your own crew and still get points, I think. So you get that. But well, actually after you shoot, it says points deducted. So I'm not quite sure if it's true. Like I read somewhere that you can, but yeah. So you've got points for successfully landing a shot. You get points for surviving an encounter, and you get points for landing the kill shot. And if you and you get multipliers based on your winning streak. So if you win 2 matches, then your overall total experience is doubled. 3 matches times 3, 4 matches times 4. So in order to level up, you want to get on a win streak. The problem though is that all the multiplayer is pretty much random. So it's either random worldwide, random continent, or within those two, skill based or completely random. In terms of level matching. So yeah, so I've realized that because of the randomized nature of the team selection and the human dynamic, where not everyone works as a team, not everyone will use the Morse code to send out their um, to send out where they are on the map. Because some people don't work together, they can easily get cornered and overpowered, and then it just goes onto the slippery slope. So if two ships can corner and kill another ship, then it's harder for three ships to beat four than the other way around. Yeah, and so what I'm realizing is that it's going to take a long time to go up in levels because there isn't enough of a culture in the community of people working together. I mean, people do, and I work with, and I tend to play with Japanese players who are pretty good at working up together, but because it's all random and there's and not everyone is of that mind, like is of the cooperative mindset, then every couple of matches some guy is going to lose you the match, and then you're going to not be able to level up as quickly as you can. So that's something I'm finding to be quite annoying, but maybe it will change as I level up.
I was thinking, shouldn't it be ranked to sort of the higher level you make it, the more you keep those kind of players out?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh,
But then,
should be.
I mean, if you think about it though, players who advance in the levels may have not necessarily, like, if you just play enough, then you can level up anyway, because you're still landing hits and so on. Even though even when you lose, you still get points. It's just that when you win several games, then you get a multiplier. So those who play as a team level up faster.
Right.
So at a higher level, you're probably still going to have a couple of players who aren't as good as working in a team and who've just through time have built up their levels. But otherwise, like, I think the game's really awesome. Like, I'm pretty addicted to it because each match only lasts for about 4 minutes. So yeah, it's like there's that fast
4 minutes?
turnaround,
Dang.
and yeah, it's really quick.
What is this, Counter-Strike?
Yeah, it's I'm really enjoying it anyway. So
That's awesome. I will hopefully be able to get into it. Oh shoot, I misplaced my ball. Soon-ish.
yeah, it's no rush. I'll probably be playing it like on and off for quite a while. So yeah, no rush.
That's cool. And it's partly because I just still need to land a new job first. I mean, I got my paycheck recently, so I could pay off this month's tuition, but I'm still working to getting a new job, so I have to be a little tight with my spending. So even a $10 game, I just can't afford it right now. Or I don't want to be.
Sure.
I don't want to regret it down the road.
Yeah.
Wait, I already did that room. It's this room I need to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. These guys take a really long time to die. I'm out of bombs too.
And they move pretty fast.
Yep. And that sword. I paused right on the frame I'm about to get hit. Yeah, I'm gonna go through that door. Just to see what's around. Wait a minute, I've been here. Have I? Let me see the map. Yeah, I have. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was doing a room I've already done. How much have you thought about or how many other games have you played where you got really into ranked multiplayer? Is Steel Diver your first one?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I just don't. I don't play multiplayer much. Yeah, I guess as when I was at uni and high school, I used to have friends over and play some multiplayer. Quake, Counter Strike, Mario Kart, stuff like that. But yeah, I just kind of play single player. I never really play online either. So yeah, probably just Steel Diver at this stage. But it's not. I mean, it's when you say ranked, like, do you mean high scoreboard ranked, or you mean level ranked, or both?
Oh, yeah, level ranked. I know Street Fighter does a thing where, the more matches you win, the higher ranked you get, so they keep good players fighting other good players and not beating down on newbies. Like that. And so they stay interested in the game because they get to fight, better players and keep their matches interesting. And it's cool that Steel Diver has that. That's really good. Although it seems like some non-cooperative people are still slipping by. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I had two blue dark nuts catching me in the corner.
When you retry or continue, so you got 3 hearts, and what about all the progress that you've made? Like, oh well, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it though? Because, so do all the doors that you've opened stay open when you continue?
Yes.
And you can continue as many times as you want?
Yes. The major drawbacks are that I lose health, and not all of the rooms, like this one here, not all of the rooms keep all the enemies dead. Some of them do, some of them don't. I haven't actually found out what the rule behind that is. For example, this room. You saw me destroy these guys the first time and then have bombs come up. So I know I've already unlocked like the hidden reward in this room for killing all the enemies. But they respawned anyways. So there's that, and that sometimes the enemies won't respawn. But it's not guaranteed.
Oh, that's good. So it's...
Oh, and the bomb doors stay open.
Ah, good.
So I don't have to waste another bomb to blow it up again. Crap, I got hit with the red bubble. Okay. This is a frustrating room. I mean, just the setup tells me that this is going to be tons of fun. Because you have 3 red bubbles. These bubbles are fast, by the way. And a room where it's very easy, right now, for me to get cornered like that. Damn it. Okay. And it's gonna take a long time to whittle these guys down. Alright, there's one. Come up. No. Damn it. Great, now I lost my ability to hit that red dark nut, and I gotta find a way to get to that blue one. There we go. Damn it. Turn it around, and there's the red one. So yeah, I don't know what you make of this idea. To me, it's just kind of frick. Like, it's so easy to lose my ability to hit these guys. And I need to get behind them, but I don't actually have that much space, unlike that other room, to, you know, maneuver around them and get them on their backs. Yes, okay, secret thing. If you go in the direction of the arrow, it's not even a sentence. See what I mean about Zelda having bad clues? This guy doesn't even speak in complete sentences.
Do you think that it means that in one of the rooms, the tiles are laid out to look like an arrow, like so if the tiles are the body and the lava is like the outline, then that might lead to a secret door.
Yeah, probably. Actually, I don't know what I was getting banned out of shape over. It's not that unclear. It's really more just funny that he doesn't speak in a complete sentence. I was just being a grammar Nazi. Okay, oh my god. The fire does not work on the dark nuts. I wish I could make this more interesting, but unfortunately I cannot get the sword that does more damage, so it just takes this long to kill them. Especially with this room where I'm constantly losing my... don't corner me. Constantly losing... there we go, sandwich. My ability to even hit them. And I only had 3 bombs, and I didn't know if it's... I don't know if it's enough. So I kind of want to save him up, and if I go into that room with a full stock of 12 bombs, then I would try it out.
Do you think that on the second quest, that in the I guess the enemy rooms, do you think that the arrangement of enemies becomes too complicated and too overwhelming and crowded, so as that it doesn't really, express a very clear sense of counterpoint?
Yeah, that even happens in the first quest, particularly with the Wizrubs, and to a certain extent the Gorias, especially the blue ones when they're mixed with the turrets. There's other reasons why they don't layer well together, and it's really hard things for other people to pick out, but I can, such as most enemies typically pause when they're about to throw projectiles. The Gorias are the one enemy in the game that do not follow that rule. They will throw out their boomerangs instantly. So you have nothing to react to. And if you just so happen to not be facing their direction when they throw it, you're out of luck. And if they're really close, there's no reaction there. Maybe if you're on the other side of the room you can react to it. But if you're like 3 tiles away from them, no, because their boomerangs come out about as fast as your own boomerangs, and the boomerang in this game is pretty fast. I mean, let me just show you. Like, it can clear almost like that's how fast it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The Wizrobes have a similar issue. They do not pause when they shoot their magic beams. Unlike the Gorias, well, yeah, they don't pause when they shoot their magic beams, and that's why they're some of the more obnoxious enemies. They're harder to deal with. And when you mix them, and that's just one Wizrobe by itself. Or think about those problems, just one of them by itself. Now imagine a room full of them, where there's like 3 other ones or 4 other ones. Or worse, if it's like, say, a room with 3 of those blue Gorias mixed with the random shooting turrets in the 4 corners of the room, and then you got yourself a real problem.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, these enemies, they do have a random element of tracking. They're not 100% random. And I know because I looked in the editor, and there is a sort of random tracking value they have. Some enemies have it more than the others. The blue ones definitely have more than the red ones. That's why there are some moments where it looks like the enemy's following you, and that's because they actually are. Whoops, oh. I butterfingered there. Oh yeah, and then mix in the fact that Link can't move diagonal, and he needs to get close in order to hit those bastards in the first place. So, if you swing your sword at the wrong time and they decide to shoot at you, which is the one moment where you can't block them, then oops, too bad for you. Have you played the second quest?
I think I tried it like a few years ago. Well, quite a few years ago. Like about the time when Wind Waker came out, because I picked it up with the Zelda Collector's Edition bonus disc, and that's the first time I played the original game. Because for some reason it's really hard to buy for the NES. Yeah, so I remember not liking the first quest and not being keen to try the second quest.
Okay. Oh, do I have to do that? I think I have to do that. So here's another weird thing that's kind of like nothing you ever see in the first quest, where this guy's blocking this door right here. And he's basically saying, pay 50 rupees or give up a whole heart container. Whatever.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's one of those weirdo, like, poison mushroom, screw with the player kind of design things they experimented with more back in the NES days.
Yes.
Lost. Yeah, this is the lost levels of the first Zelda. And it's a room of... Wait, I need to use bombs, that's why. So I'm going to try down first. Wow, did he just troll me? That this isn't actually the right way to go? Oh my god, I think he just did. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Oh no! Haha, see that? See this? I remember this. Now this is actually a nice thing that I like about the second quest, and it's remembering those little details of block pushing for sections like this.
It's interesting when people talk about Link's Awakening, and they say, "Oh, yeah, it added these these side-scrolling elements," but actually, like, it was already in the original Zelda.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they more so mean like the platforming, you know, with Rock's Feather.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's more. I'm distinct. You know, you've got Rock's Feather, you've got actual platforming challenges, and you've got cameos from certain Mario enemies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Rock's Feather I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I wonder what some of the later games would look like with a hard mode. Like actually changed the nature of the game,
Yeah,
much like the second quest.
that's actually one of them, because we actually brought this up at some point when talking about Ninja Gaiden, as to why I like Majora's Mask, and that I feel like Majora's Mask is kind of like that, because there is a lot of that game where it assumes you played the first game and you kind of, I mean, it still does, the tutorial and everything, but it's challenging right from the get go, and it plays with a lot of conventions and things that they did in the first N64 Zelda game, and that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. And I think Majora's Mask fits that critique. Fits that what you're talking about, like a hard mode. Basically change up things they did in the first quest. In a way, I see Majora's
If we are
Mask
to
as kind of that.
Master Quest.
Yes, if we were to exclude Master Quest, because they did actually make an actual Master Quest. I wish they were more
Yeah,
frequent
I just
though.
thought of that one.
I really
Sorry?
do wish they. I really do wish Zelda Master Quest were more frequent though, and that's just because Nintendo takes. They really do take a little bit too long, frustratingly long to make Zelda games. That it's kind of like, do you have to start over from scratch every single time? I mean, do what you did with Majora's Mask. Nobody cares if you reuse assets if you do something cool with it. Because Majora's Mask came out in like a year.
What's the what's the new not Triforce Heroes does that.
Yeah, although it's I see it more as a spin-off and less of a Master Quest kind of deal, or a Majora's Mask kind of deal.
Spirit Tracks?
Oh, no, Master Quest.
I mean, that took 2 years. Oh, no,
Oh,
what
well,
I'm saying is...
Spirit Tracks is
Spirit Tracks is kind of like that.
Yeah, because it just reused assets from the first game and to make something... Basically, it got out a portable Zelda faster than, what it takes them to make a console Zelda. It's not like...
And then there's, what do you call it? The Game Boy Color games. So they did do Link's Awakening DX, which had the extra dungeon. I mean, that was, granted that was, like 4 or 5 years later, but, still, they reused... Well, I mean, it was technically like a remake, I guess you'd say. But then you've got the two... Oracle of Ages, Oracle Seasons games, which was just fantastic. Like, I remember playing those at the time and being like, "Oh my god!" Because I love Link's Awakening and being like, "Wow, 2 Zelda games," and they're both pretty challenging. One of them is more challenging than the other, I think. Ages is more difficult than Seasons, but 2 reasonably good, reasonably excellent Zelda games coming out at the same time, which you can play with friends. Pretty awesome.
Wait, play with friends?
Yeah, so like, let's think. My brother and I, we played, and we had a friend of ours that also. So once you finished one of the games, then you could get the password from another game, and you can then do a special dungeon or something. So, so I played one, and then someone else played another, and then we put them on together, and we could access the extra dungeon. And then you get like the green-red sword or blue-red sword. Like there's a special sword. I think there's special tunics as well. So I mean, it's not really multiplayer, but it's we played it as such. So you can. I guess we kind of played it like trading Pokemon. Normally, you wouldn't trade Pokemon with yourself. You'd trade Pokemon with someone else. but with the recent console releases like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword, it's all like start from scratch because other games are really quite different in terms of their aesthetics and underlying.
Mm-hmm.
I think they wait. I think they probably did use the Twilight Princess engine probably is a heavily modified Wind Waker engine, and they were actually working on like a Wind Waker 2 before it became Twilight Princess. So yeah, I mean they do reuse bits, I think, but
Right.
the full extent we don't really know. But
Yeah.
except for when we see it in game, like you know when they reuse assets.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably a lot of like technical stuff that carries over too that we don't get to see.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that yeah, you're right, that Twilight Princess probably is just a modified Wind Waker engine. But they clearly did not reuse any of Wind Waker's assets.
No.
That was entire, alright, get all the 3D modelers and have them start over for the new Zelda game. And, figure out how it's going to look and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas, Majora's Mask didn't have any of that. It was same exact model, no modification. Only create a couple of new ones, like for the bosses, because for the bosses and whatever new enemies they came up with. Oh, I hate this room.
Anyway, I'm probably going to head off and get lunch. It's 1:30 over here.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. Man, I just can't bring myself to pay attention, even though I'm usually better off playing by myself. Because, damn it, where's the... My mental plan that I didn't say out loud because didn't want to interrupt Daniel was to come in here with full hearts so I could use sword beams, but I messed that up because I was only half paying attention. I was surprised I was able to get through as much as I did half paying attention, especially that room with all the blue dark nuts, like holy hell. And while partially succeeding at listening to him at the same time. But yeah. Ooh, you and your little shield. Damn it! Damn it! Bubble, come save me. Save me, Bubble. Save me! Yes! Did I get hit? No, I didn't, huh? Don't turn you around. Ah, you turned around. Bubble? No. Blue Bubble, come on. Be a good boy. Come get me. Come on, Blue. Come here. Oh. There we go. There we go. Oh. There we go. No, get away. Oh, I hate you, Reds. That sounded almost racist. I hate you, Reds. Their skin's not even red. It's so stupid. That's something I never understood when I was young. Damn it. Yep, saw that game over coming a mile away. Well, you know what, I'll take a break and then probably play later or play something else. I still have Undertale I need to finish. Or probably just get back to Valkyria Chronicles. There you go. The death counter can't go any higher. Now no one will ever know.